Darren is here with my Stranger Things 2 review. Stranger Things 2 is the continuing adventures of Mike, Lucas, Dustin, Eleven, Will, Nancy, Jonathan, Hopper, Steve, Joyce, Demogorgon, and the rest of the Hawkins community as they deal with the otherworldly forces spilling out of the deadly dimension known as the Upside Down. I really enjoyed the first season of Stranger Things. While it's not the most original thing in the world, the characters that occupied that season were addictively charming. I also thought that Stranger Things could maybe work as an anthology. Once it wrapped up, I thought, maybe this could be like an anthology. We explore a different Stranger Thing each season. I thought that'd be kind of cool. Because I kind of felt like the first season worked alone and it stood on its own by itself. And I didn't necessarily need to see the mystery of the slug that was coming out of Will Myers' mouth or the location of 11, like the real location of 11. This year, I wind up back in the Upside Down. What did Hopper, why was Hopper putting those Eggos there? I didn't really need all those answers. I think it would have been cool if we actually left some of those doors, if some of those doors were left closed. But they announced season 2, and here we are. Season 2 was released, I think, October 27th, and I wasn't that excited for season 2 going in because of the story. Because, as I said before, Stranger Things, I love the characters, but the story just, it's kind of, it was just a little too familiar. But I was ecstatic to see these characters back, all these characters that I loved. Really happy to see them back. And fortunately, Stranger Things delivers on not only the characters that I love to see, it also delivers on the story. Stranger Things 2 is a fantastic escalation of everything that worked in the first season and more. It delivers great character interaction, gory scares, fantastic effects, and a story that allows Stranger Things 2, as the series as a whole, to stand on its own. Now I'm going to break this review up into two sections, one positive, one negative. So let's go ahead and get into the positives of this season. The characters. Every single, not you, character in this season is exceptional, as well as how the writers juggled all of them. None of them felt, except you, wasted, and every person, not you, had their own place on the board. From Mike to Lucas to Hopper, everyone gets their spot in the sun. And I really enjoyed that. I really had all of these characters introduced, and almost everybody really got something to do, and I really applaud the show for that. And some of my highlights from the character interactions, or just characters themselves, were Dustin taking more of a. I didn't find him in the first season that much of the comedic relief, but in this one he definitely is full comedic relief, and he goes down that route this season, and he's absolutely killing it. This kid is spectacular at delivering these lines, delivering these one-liners. He kills every single line he has. Also, him teaming up with Steve Harrington. I mean, what? Who would have expected that Dustin and Steve would make such a great pairing? And it happens the way it just happens. It just happens. The writers just throw it at us. Dustin's walking away from Will's house, and Dustin just sees Will, and he's just like, "Hey, we're teaming up. You got your bat. Let's go. We're gonna go kill some monsters." And it's great. And it forms a great mentor-mentoree relationship between them. And that was great. It was really great to see. Lucas, who also shares a lot of screen time with Dustin throughout this season, goes down an unexpected and welcome romantic route. I didn't see that coming this season for Lucas, and he gets romantically tangled with Max, the newcomer. She's the new girl. She's a new girl in school. She's the new girl in school, and Lucas grows fond of her, and they develop a romance. And it was really sweet to see them, to see that come to form. They actually had some really good chemistry, and like I said, it was just unexpected, and it really worked out this season. And Max is also a great character to be welcomed into the group of these characters. Will is continuing his battle with the Upside Down. That was another highlight for me, in a very, very disturbing form of possession. Gigantic kudos to the actor Noah Schnapp. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but who really had to go there this season during a lot of his scenes. He had to contort his body or scream like a crazy person, but it was never cheesy or anything. He really showed it, and this kid had to do a lot of heavy lifting this season, almost more than any of the other actors, and he did a fantastic job. So good job, Noah. He is fantastic. The Hopper 11 pairing was another unexpected and welcome team up this season. It's cool to see, what kind of quote unquote dad Hopper would be or would have been if his daughter didn't die, and also how protective he is of 11. He's doing his best to, give her a normal life, but he also knows the consequences in going full forward with that, and their struggle between each other throughout the season was something really interesting to see play out. Two very angry people stuck in the cabin shouting at each other, and one of them has telekinesis. Great stuff. Also, shout out to Bob. While he creeped me the fuck out, when he first showed up, and I agreed with my friend. Me and my friend, we discussed Stranger Things season 2, and he thought he was a bad guy going in, and I thought the same. But he really came through at the end. He never stopped being the cool, caring nerd. He really loved Joyce, even till the climactic final end of his character, which really sucked. I really wish Bob made it through. I was really cheering for him, because it bugs me in stories when someone comes in, someone who has nothing to do with the situation at hand, with the scary situation at hand, gets sucked into this world and is killed by said situation. It bugs the shit out of me when it happens in fiction, and it usually happens to these characters just don't deserve it. They were just there. They were in the vicinity of the craziness, and then they just, they're the ones who die. So sucks for Bob, but, Sean Astin did a great job, and, that's going to be a character to remember. Justice for Bob. Screw Barb. She did get justice. But, Bob was better. Bob had more character. Mike didn't have this much to do this season, probably because he was off finding another dimensional monster in Maine this year. But when he did come to play, it was great. I loved how he stood by Will and really comforted him during the whole entire Upside Down crisis. His reeling from 11's appearance, it really felt real. You felt throughout the season, you really felt the weight of her disappearance on him. His last line to 11 in the show at the dance was lovely. I love how he's just like, I don't know how to dance, and she was just like, I don't know. He was just like, I don't know how to dance either. You want to figure it out together. I love that. That was really sweet. I love that hunt. I like how they were able to go to the snowball dance together. Speaking of Elle, her story for me took the most getting used to. As I said before, I love the stuff with Hopper, but it took me some time to come around with her other story beats, like her mother and her sister, her finding her mother and her sister. At first, I was, like most people I assume, waiting for the reunion between her, Mike, Lucas, and Dustin. But when season 2 was announced, that was on the tip top of my personal list of things to happen in season 2. And when 11 got to the school where, they were trying to look for Will, I was like my mom screaming during a soap opera, jeering at the television, like, go get your man, 11. Let's just do this. But they decided to not go that direction and send 11 on a completely different story against my preconceived notions. At first I was like, what the hell? How dare you? How dare you not give me what I want? But then, and having a few binge-free days to think about it, I really love how they actually gave 11 her own story of discovery. Seeing her search for her identity in a home away from Hawkins and just finding herself, and finding her mother and finding her unknown sister. It was a cool journey of self-discovery to see her go on. So I really appreciate the writers for doing that. And the story of Stranger Things 2 was cool to see unfold as well. The Upside Down continues to be an equally terrifying and awe-inspiring realm of monstrosity. They really upped the threat of it in season 2, delivering new monsters like the demo dogs and, tricks with the camera tricks and everything. I love the tunnels, and they really had some cool blockbuster visuals. Like, you can really see how Netflix upped their budget and they really upped the scale of this entire thing, because there's some blockbuster worthy shots in some of the final episodes of the show, and I really enjoyed that. The show also throughout all the monstrosity and all the otherworldliness, the show still was also able to handle the high school drama, the kid drama, the family drama, and the themes of friendship that are ever present in Stranger Things. And that's one of the reasons we keep on coming back, because we love that character interaction, and we love how connected these characters are, how they feel like a family. So I'm glad they were able to juggle all that the scariness, the otherworldliness, and the humanity of it. Plus, I'm really happy they didn't just rely on the greatest hits section of season 1. They actually went for new things. They changed up some. They didn't just do another story of the kids and 11, which, that's originally what I wanted, but I'm glad they didn't go that route. They didn't just do the kids and 11 going on a different adventure. Everyone was split up. Like most good sequels, you'll see this kind of happen, or just most sequels you'll see the team kind of split apart and they all go their separate ways, and they all have their own little journeys, and they did that with Stranger Things too. And that's one of the things I really did like. And you got weird pairings, you got new relationships like Max and Lucas, like Steve and Dustin. So I'm glad they did go some really cool different routes. They went for different, and it worked. Also, good job on not making the scientist an evil son of a bitch. Like, I'm glad that the main scientist, I think Paul Reiser, I'm glad that the main scientist was like, those people, we're not old Hawkins lab. We're trying to do good things here. Now, this season wasn't perfect. Few things ever are. While I did enjoy this season, there were some problems that I had. First and foremost, you are a useless son of a bitch. Look, this is not an attack on the actor. I actually thought he gave a great performance this season, and he was excellent in Power Rangers. But my God, is Billy useless in this show? What does he do? Why is he here? I might be singing another tune if there are a couple other useless characters this season, but there aren't. This show handles every other character so well this season, and then there's this fucking guy. I mean, look, he gives Max more purpose with her arc, but I'm still looking for his. He's just an asshole. He's Steve Harrington without the redemption. Hopefully he makes a turnaround in season 3, but as of now, fuck this guy. He is useless. Every single ounce of screen time is wasted on this guy. Just move ahead with the story. He's useless. Second, let's talk about the most controversial move of Stranger Things Season 2, the 7th episode titled The Lost Sister. Now, this is actually a plot point that I didn't think they were going to play on until, like, Season 3 or further. I thought they were just going to leave that thread hanging the way the show opened with the, number 8. But then they decided to go ahead and introduce us to Callie, 11's long-lost sister from the Hawkins lab test, who has the ability to make people see what she wants, and it's pretty awesome. This episode immediately felt like the special episode of the series. That episode in a television show that departs from the beaten path. While I respect that, and the writers have come out and said that they were taking this episode to experiment a little with the series, which all power to them. They should do that. Some of the best episodes of television have come from experimentation. But it didn't do the episode much justice, coming after the suspenseful and arguably best episode of Stranger Things yet, directed by Andrew Stanton. The episode where the demo dogs break into the lab. The break in action and story felt odd. It threw me back to my time watching The Walking Dead. Probably wasn't the best placement for the episode, which itself is fine. It's fine. I've just seen stories like that, what they've did in the episode, and it just felt a little too familiar for any type of surprises. Of course, Callie is going to be interested in exploring 11's gifts to rob banks and this and that. It was cool to see them bond, I will say that, and Callie is an interesting enough character that I want to see more of, and it's nice to see more color added to the Stranger Things cast. I do stand by the writers and director's choice for the want of this episode, just not the execution. Also, this is honestly just a nitpick, but it does bug me that 11 played the Superman Hawkeye role in rejoining the team. Nitpick, just once again nitpick, but I did want to see more of them together. I'm, as I said before, glad they went a different direction, but if they just had like an episode or two more together, that would have been nice, but just nitpick. And also, I just really want to see her meet 11 and Will meet. I mean, they have to have some upside down war stories to swap. They are very, very damaged people, and I want to see them, I want to see that conversation between them. One more thing, last but not least, semi-negative, Stranger Things. We understand that you take place in the 80s. We get it. Don't beat us over the head with it. We understand. Other than that, I really enjoyed the season of Stranger Things. As I said before, Stranger Things 2 is a fantastic escalation of everything that worked in the first season and more. It's a joyful binge that honors the old of the first season and expands the new for season 2 and beyond. This definitely puts me in the Halloween spirit, and I can't wait to see what else the Duffer Brothers have in store for the town of Hawkins. So what did you guys think of Stranger Things Season 2? Did you guys like it? Did you guys hate it? Please let me know in the comment sections below. Also, if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. And if you like hearing me talk about movies, TV, please hit that subscribe button and come join the conversation. I'll be glad to have you. Also, I check out another channel that I co-run with a couple other guys called Chill the Last Credit. There we talk. It's more of a group setting. It's not, just me on the mic alone. It's more of a group setting, and yeah, we talk about movies and we do commentaries. We, just a fun time over there talking about movies and TV and comic books. So if you're interested in that, please subscribe to Till the Last Credit, where you have more of me and a bunch of other guys over there. So with all that being said, I'm Darren Jr. I hope you guys enjoyed this review, and I'll catch you guys next time.